Member for Oromocto-Lincoln.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Teachers are worried about the government's recent surprise decision with the reintroduction of Grade 1 entry point for French Immersion next September that's not found in the 10-year plan. This quick timeline gives very little turnaround time for our teachers in the education system to respond adequately. Staffing, recruitment, scheduling, information to parents, teacher training, continuing the current Grade 3 programs for another 3 years. These are all challenges that worry teachers. Can the minister ensure the teachers and parents of New Brunswick that the resources will be in place, that there's an adequate implementation plan, and will the minister, in the spirit of collaboration, provide this implementation plan to the legislature for the entry point starting next September?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, of course there's going to be an implementation plan. Of course we're going to give the support that we believe will allow our teachers to be able to offer French Immersion in Grade 1. And like I said when we made this announcement, Mr. Speaker, we understand that there are some concerns with the way the system was before in Grade 1, and we'll do the best we possibly can to mitigate them, Mr. Speaker. What I find very interesting is to have the opposition today say that they're surprised. Mr. Speaker, we promised this in our platform in 2014. And in fact, they promised when they were running in 2010, Mr. Speaker, to reinstate French Immersion to Grade 1. So maybe why they're surprised is because we're actually doing what we promised, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Oromocto-Lincoln.
It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that the Premier is continuing to play politics with our education system. Mr. Speaker, real clearly, the Premier does not have an implementation plan for this change. He said he's going to have an implementation plan, which means there's no implementation plan. The decision's been made, and now the education system will scramble to respond when what the teachers are asking for is stability. And yes, our commitment was a review of French Immersion. We did that, and yes, we received a report that said Grade 1. But we chose not to implement to Grade 1 because teachers said they wanted stability. We chose not to play politics. They wanted to recover from the previous entry point change made by the Liberal government. The entry point is not, the report not only says Grade 1, but it says there will be additional resources. Will the government provide an implementation plan? Will the necessary resources be in place? And will you make sure that you provide that implementation plan so we can assure the teachers that you will get the work done properly?
The Honourable Premier.
Monsieur le Président, c'est important pour nous de faire tout ce qu'on peut pour appuyer nos enseignantes, nos enseignants, les éducateurs et éducatrices autour de la province, Monsieur le Président. Et c'est justement ça que nous allons faire. Je ne comprends pas comment que l'opposition peut se lever aujourd'hui et dire qu'il faut faire davantage pour aider les enseignants, les enseignantes à avoir, pour avoir l'immersion précoce en français en première année. Et ils nous critiquent de dire qu'on va investir plus en éducation. Monsieur le Président, c'est important d'investir davantage en éducation et c'est aussi important d'investir de façon stratégique et c'est justement ça que nous allons faire. Nous avons donné plus de flexibilité à nos enseignants et enseignantes que jamais auparavant qu'ils ont vu avec d'autres gouvernements, Monsieur le Président. Ça, c'est parce qu'on croit en eux. On croit qu'ils sont capables de délivrer l'éducation que nos jeunes ont besoin. Il faut leur donner la flexibilité et il faut les appuyer de façon financière et c'est exactement ça que nous allons faire comme gouvernement et nous allons le faire de façon stratégique, Monsieur le Président.
Member for Oromocto-Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, the teachers are asking for stability like they've asked the previous government, and that's why the previous government did not make the change to Grade 1 entry point. The report said in 2012 that not only with a move to Grade 1, it would require additional resources. It will require staffing, recruitment, support for struggling students. The costs are enormous with a change like this, not only financially, but the cost of chaos and instability. This quick change will cause. The Premier said that we are going to have an implementation plan that leads this House to believe that there is no implementation plan in place. This is very concerning to teachers that we don't know what the resources are going to be. We don't know if the resources are coming from existing funding, if there's going to be new resources. We know there's great challenges. This is not in the 10-year plan. It didn't come up through the consultation. Will, in the spirit of collaboration, the Premier involve the opposition, involve the stakeholders that were involved with the 10-year plan, and provide this implementation plan to assure that this will be...
The Honourable Premier.
Monsieur le Président, nous l'avons mis très clair que nous allons donner plus de ressources aux enseignants et enseignantes et aux districts, Monsieur le Président, pour être capable d'instaurer l'immersion précoce en français. Nous avons dit ça depuis l'annonce, Monsieur le Président. Alors, encore une fois, je suis confus pour les questions de l'opposition à cet égard. Nous allons donner les appuis financiers qu'ils ont besoin. Nous allons mitiger beaucoup des préoccupations qu'ils avaient avec le système auparavant, Monsieur le Président. Bien sûr, notre décision a été basée sur un rapport que l'opposition, lorsqu'ils étaient au gouvernement, ont demandé pour, Monsieur le Président, qui mettait très clair qu'il fallait, pour offrir les gens l'opportunité d'apprendre une langue seconde, l'opportunité d'avoir l'immersion précoce en français en première année. So, Mr. Speaker, again, I think it's very unfortunate to see the opposition trying to use French immersion as a scapegoat. Mr. Speaker, it has been in grade 3 for over 5 years, and we have been getting the results that we've seen. This will help us offer a second language training to our kids, Mr.